Hello, hello, hello. My name is Antonio, and just going to look at some possible strategies. Looking at the current Disney Skyliner, which is due to open fall this year in lieu of the Star Wars land that's opening up at Hollywood Studios. And I mean, there's a lot of attractions that are opening very soon, and also for the 50th anniversary, that's going to be in about a year or two. So the Disney Skyliner will definitely be, something that Walt Disney World needs to definitely implement throughout. And a lot of people have asked, well, why don't they build a monorail? The monorail is pretty awesome, and it is. It's an awesome piece of technology, but it does come with a very high price. And when you have a high price like that, um, it's not very easy to expand. I mean, they already got this very long trek of monorail that goes from the Epcot Center all the way up to let me see, my computer's running really slow because I'm also recording at the same time, so it's going to be kind of a little bit draggy here. But, the Skyliner goes all the way to the transportation center. So it will come up here, stop here, and then continue on down. There's also a two-way um, monorail system that connects to the Magic Kingdom and also all the major resorts around the Seven Seas Lagoon, um, from the Polynesian to the Grand Floridian. We got the Contemporary, and so there's several stops that it stops at, and of course it stops at the transportation center where you can connect to the Epcot or other bus transportation. One thing that's cool is because you got the monorail, there's also bus transportation here. So in case the monorail system's down, the buses will continue to run. Buses can run easier than on roads where it can change lanes, go around things, it can detour. So there's nothing really stopping the bus. Not too much. I mean, it has to be like in extreme conditions. And in Florida, there's no such thing as snow. If it does snow there, it probably doesn't happen very often. So the transportation system in Walt Disney World is a fascinating system. They got buses everywhere. They got boats wherever there's water. In between stuff, there's boats that will take you there. Like here in Epcot, you can catch a boat from here out right outside of the reflections, or I forgot what they call this lake here. But you catch a boat from here and you can catch it to any of the resorts in the Epcot resort area. And I believe you can catch the boat all the way over to Hollywood Studios. Yeah. So you can go from Hollywood Studios to Epcot in one swoop. Now, the Disney Skyliner is um, is something that I have been, watching. No, keep in mind, I've never been to Walt Disney World ever, and I do want to go. And my wife and I and my niece, our family, are planning a trip to Disney World sometime in 2020. And so we're, you know, definitely saving up the pennies and working hard to make sure that happens sometime like the late winter, when it's not so busy. We'll probably take care off, from school for a week, just so we can enjoy like 5 or 6 days at the park. So let's look at the Skyliner. I'm very fascinated with this because, I thought about a lot of different technologies that Disney could employ, like those pod cars. And there's a system running at the London Heathrow Airport that takes you from a particular terminal to two different car lots. And they did not expand upon that. So it's kind of makes me wonder if that technology is working. It seemed promising, but um, it's called the Personal Rapid Transit, PRT, Personal Rapid Transit. And I thought that would have been a great system to employ, like to neighboring, like something like this. If you look at here, it can take you to Epcot right here at the main entrance, or even here at this main entrance, and take you to all the different resort hotels in these little tiny pod cars that are self-driven. Um, and unfortunately, I think it just didn't work out as what was planned. Now, just to let you know, this map is somewhat incorrect. Right here is the pop century and the art of animation. And there's a stop right here, not here. So this is a little incorrect. I guess maybe when this was developed, it was probably a chance that maybe Disney was planning to stop here. But I'm glad they extended it because this is definitely a much prettier scenic route because it takes you right over the lake and then onto the wires. Well, it's on the wires over the lake, but you get that really, it feels like you're floating right above water because the way they got the gondola set, this is the wire is already hung. It's just right now they're doing a bunch of testing, and of course they got to make sure it's safe and make sure that they take care of all the little bugs that may come about. But there's a station right here that kind of at an angle, more so than what's shown here. So what I'm gonna do, um, and again, remember that I have never been here before, so I may be off by a couple of centimeters, maybe a couple of feet, yards, but I'm going to try to, create this as best I can. So what I'm going to do is add these stops. And so I'm going to put one here, and it's sitting on this side. In fact, maybe I should turn on the actual map feature. They did kind of change this. Let me pause this recording so I don't bore you guys at me trying to figure out how to use this new mapping setup. Okay, apologize for that. Well, you only experience a second time lapse if you look at the bottom right. My time probably skipped like 5 minutes. Took me a while to figure it out. Because see how this is grayed out? So I'm thinking that this is not clickable. And there it is. You can switch between, this regular map, topography map. Well, not really topography, but, and then you got the, satellite image. And so you got different views here, which is pretty nice. But let's look at this one. Because here, I guess some satellite image did capture some of the maybe latest, well, 2019. Hmm. I wonder if that was when it was captured or when Google bought this image. But okay, so let's go with it. This is 2019 because I know it's a lot more completed than this. In fact, the actual station and the actual towers and the wires are actually built. I mean, it's just a matter of them getting all the doing all the testing and everything they have to do, get it up to code. And so this looks like a spot where the actual station will be. Because see these little squares? If you look at anybody's YouTube video that is capturing the actual building and updates, this looks very much like what this station looked like. In fact, there's this one gentleman passport to the parks. He always grabs like gets on the second floor in one of these other buildings and then shines across this lake. In fact, he actually walked around this area here to capture this beautiful image. I mean, this is a satellite image. This has to be last year because there's a lot more done. They are building it rather quickly though, but I'm going to drop another mark here because I'm thinking that this little off angle area here is where this station is going to go. Okay. And I'm going to put up another one because there are actually three different stations in one. And and see this little area that's been cleared out? That's definitely for the gondolas. So I'm going to put one here. It's like they're pouring their foundation at this time. So I'm going to put one here and so let's see where it ends up over here. Now I know where these others are going to be. It's very clear how they're going to do this. In fact, you see this area here? That's where it ends up. And let's see if you can see some type of footprint, like where they're pouring concrete or something. It's at an angle. It comes in and it sort of lands right about here. So I'm going to drop another point here. Okay. So because it comes across the parking lot, not as scenic on this route. So you're going to see in a minute how this is going to look. And let's go up a little bit. So as you can tell, they're clearing out some space here. Well, this has already been done, of course. And that brand spanking new Caribbean resort, it's like what, 15 stories? I don't have the exact number. It's really tall. And so I'm going to go back to this almost inaccurate map. And let me see. It's going to be as accurate as it's going to be. So it's kind of like here, right? So let's go back to the Google Maps. Oops, here it is. So sort of up above, kind of out here somewhere near the street. Okay, so let's drop a little ticker. Not on top. Oh, see, oh, they redid the roads. See this right here? In lieu of this hotel, they had to redo the roads. Because if you look at here, this is an old map. There's a road right here, and there's a lake right there. So it seems like they're kind of redoing this whole area, um, sort of. Again, my computer is very slow. So I'm gonna take a big guess and drop it right there. This is just a big guess right here. Kind of up a little bit, right next to that road. This road that used to be there. Okay. I'm sure that eventually this road's gonna probably curve up a little bit and go around the lake, whereas right here it went under the lake. In fact, did they take what they do with this road over here? Let's see. Oh no, that road's still there. So the lake used to be over here, I guess. And it looks like they're gonna maybe have the road maybe connect with this road, maybe, or they're gonna put this one back. We'll see. We'll see what they're gonna do with that. Okay, so let me come over here. Let me see if I can get a nice closer. Oh, by the way, I'm getting this image from mickeyviews.com. They are probably the ones that came up with this map. Maybe it was Disney. I'm not sure. So whoever owns this copyright here, you know, all rights do belong to you. This is not me. Okay, so and I bet you someone probably already did this map. Far I know, it's like someone already came in here and did something up real quick, and here I am just working hard to do something that has already been done. Okay, so you can kind of tell this footprint here, this excavation that they're doing here. Um, the gondola will come across here and boom, and then it takes a sharp right hand turn there. So let me first get back my perspective, and then I'm going to drop a little ticker here. That's going to be as close as it's going to get. And then it comes up north and goes all the way up to, okay, let's see. Again, this is, okay, it's right here somewhere. So, oh, see, they're building it right here. Yep, you can tell. That's definitely it. That's where it's going to be. So let me go ahead and drop a ticker there. Okay, so this is the current situation. And if I zoom out, oh, just to let you guys know, for those of you who don't know, some of you probably do know, this is a 90, well, more like a 80-degree turn. It's going to be like a very sharp, because it's going to come from over here, then it's going to go up like this. So it's going to be a very sharp turn. So this right here, what I'm going to do is draw a line. Okay. And what I should have done was, there we go. And I want to draw another line. I'm just going to put lines just, and then we can talk about the current situation. Then we'll go into some future possibilities that is probably already on the drawing board. Okay, I need to double click when I create that second dot. Okay, so let's, as you can tell, it's kind of short now. It's not a whole lot, but it's a big start. Okay, don't get it twisted. It's a huge start because if you zoom out just a little bit, and this is all of Disney World, it's shorter distances for this than the monorail is from the Magic Kingdom. Here's the Magic Kingdom right here. This is the parking lot. This is the transportation center. And so that monorail has to trek a pretty good little distance to make it down here. And then, of course, it's got that two-way, um, that goes both directions. One train goes to all the resorts. The other one takes you directly from the transportation center to the front of the Magic Kingdom. So it's like a direct route. You don't stop at any of the resort hotels. So that's great. Um, Notice here, and this is where Disney is very smart. And we're going to talk about this, but look at this. This is a straight path from here, straight to Animal Kingdom, straight to the lodge, the Animal Kingdom Lodge. We're going to take a look at that in a minute because I really believe that's going to be something. Okay. We also got the All-Star Music Resort over here and the All-Star Movies, which is kind of off to its own little section here. It's like all by its little lonesome. Poor thing. I'm sure that one day there's going to be like another resort, maybe over here, something to fill in this, because they're going to need more value resorts. Okay, so let's come back over here. What I'm going to do is edit this, and I'll make the line bigger, make it turn that yellow so that we can identify this very easily. I'm going to make a close proximate line as to how these things will line up. Okay, now looking at this footprint, it looks like at some point it does make a slight turn. And I wonder where. It will have to do something like this. Maybe it does. Now, if they didn't want it to go over this building, there's a building here. There's a possibility that it probably goes more like this. But let's take away that point. Let's just assume that it's going directly into here. But I do notice that there is a bend. So I wonder if there is a bend right there. Let's just assume there is. And then this makes sense. It goes over this building very nicely. And it does match this footprint that we see here. Okay, keep in mind this is not the latest Google Maps. Okay, let's grab onto this one and push this over here. Push this over here. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to also make this yellow because this is one line. Okay. So we can definitely see that. In fact, I want to make it just a little bit bigger because when you zoom out, the lines say the same, but it's kind of hard to see when you're, okay, there we go. And let's come back over here. Trying to grab onto this one here and it's not letting me. There we go. I guess I could just click over there, but all right. So let's make this one yellow as well. And there's a reason why I'm doing this. Okay, this is an approximate location of where this station is located. It's not exact. It does fly over the Caribbean area. Okay, it does fly right over. There we go. Now, this one, we're going to make a different color. Okay, so we're going to make this one like a nice hot color there. Let's make it bigger. And we're going to have this bad boy go right up in there, just like that. And let's go to the other side here. And oh, that lines up pretty well. This looks pretty accurate, actually, based off again, the videos that, especially Passport to the Parks. They have been doing some very good coverage of how the gondola is doing. And I do appreciate that because I know I'm coming here sometime, to next year. And now, as you can tell, this makes a lot of sense because they did clear out this area here. And they did that because the trucks that will maintain the gondola wires and the towers, they want to make sure that those trucks can get down the road and be able to attend to those to the individual. Plus, if there's any type of evacuations that have to be done, they can get in there and get to the cars and get people out of the cars if it has to be that way. Um, you know, Nothing's perfect, right? So they want to make sure that people are able to safely get out. If there was a bunch of trees here, it will make it harder for vehicles to get up in there and get people out. Okay, so let's do this one a different color. I'll do this one a nice, beautiful green and make it bigger. All right, so this is the current situation. And as you can tell, let's move this one down over here. Let's click on there and push this one in some. There we go. This station here is going to be a three different stations. This one goes to the um, art of animation as well as the pop century. And so this is going to be a very interesting one. I'm quite curious how they would bring this one in. Because this is the all-star music movies, and I don't remember what this one's called, but this is the all stars, and over here is the art of animation and pop century. So I guess if they were to build a gondola system, let's go ahead and draw something here. Let's do something like this, and I'm thinking they will have to do like a turn of some sort. And let's say they added a station like right here. Okay, so this is like wasn't what I was going to talk about today, actually. I was going to more likely, okay, so like that, have like a little turn station here and end up there. I, there's no, let me tell you, there is nothing out there that suggests that this is something that Disney's going to do in the future. But I'm just throwing it in there just for the hell of it. Okay, so we got this one. So what's interesting is we got the brand new hotel being built over here. Beautiful hotel. And I think that's going to be exciting to have. We have the Art of Animation in Disney Pop right here. And it's going to, this station here will service both of these resort areas. What you do is you catch that green line and you get off here at the Caribbean. And you can choose to go into the Caribbean. I mean, it'll be a little bit of a walk if you want to check out the new one that's up here. It'll be a nice little walk, but you'll be able to get up here. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, that's right. There's a station here for that. But okay, let's stick to this. So over here, there are all these hotels that are being built over here. And there's another one that's being built over here as well. So this is going to be a very nice ride to go from here to here. But if you want to get to Disney Hollywood Studios or over to Epcot or Caribbean, you will have to get off, walk over a little bit, and then hop on this line. Now, this one right here, you do not have to get off. Once this this is why this is all yellow, because you catch it from here to here, and you don't have to get out of your car. And this is why I wonder why they did not do this with this. Just have it continue all the way through. I'm always wondered about that. I mean, this one could have been separate, but this one here could have been one huge line. But there isn't. The line actually ends here and it stops. And then it continues from here and takes you over to the Caribbean. This stop here is not really a stop. It's a turnaround. It's a turn. And so it drops down and you slow down to maybe, 5 miles per hour and you turn and then you hop onto these wires and then you go across the parking lot. Not very pretty scenic, scenic wise. The only good part about this one is that once you do reach this stop here, or you're in this area, and more I think about it, this is going to be more straight. Let me fix that. Going to delete this point. I think this is a little bit more straight. There's got to be something wrong with this because, yeah, it will have to be like way over here if it was straight. But there's no way it will go through the boardwalk villas. In fact, it doesn't even do that. It doesn't. So it will have to be right here. Plus, it makes sense because this is like a footprint of it. So yeah, um, the there has to be maybe a bend somewhere because the trains, the gondolas will go straight in at this angle. So it's probably like a little bend here somewhere, and it comes across the parking lot at the boardwalk parking lot, ends up here. This is not a stop at all. It won't stop. I can imagine that this will be evacuation point. If the gondola still works where you can get to the station, they can get people off, you know, and also a good service point as well. If someone maybe was having a health issue and they were coming across, they'll have like paramedics waiting, and then they can stop the gondolas, get that person off, and get them off to help. But outside of that, this is where it goes now. So this is a really good indication of what we're going to be looking forward to. Not including this white line, of course. Um, but just green, blue, and yellow part is what we're going to be looking forward to sometime later on this year. And my wife and I and my niece, we're going to be looking forward to this sometime next year. Now, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking for the future, we're going to see something like this. And remember, this is all hearsay. You know, I'm thinking like this area will probably be the best area for it. I'm gonna drop a little ticker right there. And then we got the Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is gonna be another ticker. And the reason why I said it because the Animal Kingdom Lodge is a premium deluxe resort. And to have it sitting out in the middle of nowhere is very puzzling to me. So I wonder if, there's a bus station here, it may be better if they actually drop the station where these woods are at. And then people can walk either to the bus or they can go to the Animal Kingdom Lodge. So I think that's be a good place to do that. So if you look at it, it is kind of a direct line of sight. Boom, boom. And not being an engineer and not knowing how to do environmental impact reports and all that. This is what I think it can be. And if you extend this, okay, let me end this now. Got a big mess here. Okay, let's see. Where did my... Ooh, that would be a very long... This will probably be the longest trek of them all. That's a very long ways. It really is. And okay, here's the dream right here, right? We got the Coronado Springs, and we have the Blizzard Beach over here too. So I'm thinking, why not? You want to get them like right here would be good, I think. It'll be something like this. So that'll be at the station right there. So remember, this is, of course, best case scenario, um, dreaming of a possibility with one line that can service two major hotels and also the Animal Kingdom, and it'll be part of uh, the Hollywood Studios line. I think this will be fabulous right here. Let me go ahead and fix this point. What is it? This one here? Yeah. So I'm going to make this one a purple color. Just kind of, it's not blue. It's just so you can tell which one is the expansion that we can dream about. And so I now here is why I believe Disney should consider this plan. One, we got a resort hotel that doesn't have a really nice transportation system. We got the Animal Kingdom, which is sitting all by itself. We have the Coronado Springs, that's kind of off to its own as well. And we also got the All Star. So if you were to ride this, this will go from here to here. In fact, if you really want to get creative on this one, let's take a look at this. There we go. Something like that. I mean, of course, Disney will have a better idea. I don't think they want the gondolas going through a baseball park like that. But uh, something like that, or maybe it'll have to be, yeah, something like this. Who knows? But this is not a heavily visited park, so this might not be the big concern. The big one, of course, is to do something like this, at an angle, and it takes you right here. And so this would probably be what we'll be looking for in the future if they do decide to connect these. Now, this one right here, I do believe that this will be something that will be heavily used. And I believe that the Coronado Springs could use a little bit of renovation. I know they did do some renovation recently, but I think, just a little bit more, add some more restaurants and make it a really nice place to come, like a second boardwalk or something. Um, I think that will come a long ways and really put this on the map. Maybe even adding it where the gondola goes through this big building here. I think that'd be tight. So I don't know much about the Coronado Springs, so I'm just going to say, this is an idea basically, and then it comes across and it stops here. And here, like I said, people can get off it and either walk over to the buses if that's what they need to do, or they can hop over to the Animal Kingdom Park. So I think that's going to be a very interesting line. And then over here at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, this will be a great place because it's right next to the buses. So you get off the gondola, and there will be probably like a new sidewalk, or maybe even utilize this sidewalk here. This is probably behind the scenes, most likely, because you can tell it kind of takes you backstage. So most likely, they'll probably block the backstage part over here instead of over here somewhere, and you just walk, and then go into your hotel. In your hotel then at that point. So I think this will be really awesome choice if they decide to add a gondola. Now, one thing that we have to know for sure, I mean, you can tell that looking at this map, this is a very long trek. Okay, it's a long stretch. Plus, we'll have some of that gondola traveling over Hollywood Studios. And Disney might not want to do that because Disney's all about looks. And you see the Hollywood Towers? That means that gondola will be traveling right in front of it. Might not be a good look. The only way I can see this actually happening is that they punch it up this way and then have a slight turn and then come across that way. So it goes behind. It's also phantasmic. That'll be a nice view. I mean, think about it. If you come across here and go through, you go above this, you can get a good glimpse of phantasmic as it's happening. And then maybe some type of turn station here or a gondola tower turn, and it will cut across here to the Coronado Springs. So this will be a very, very long line. And I recommend, I mean, if I was Disney, you know, I would make this one line all the way to the Caribbean. Make it one very long line. I think that will be the best for it. But you can tell with the current situation, there's not a whole lot. It only covers a very small area, this general area, the Epcot area. This is it. Um, so this is going to be a good testing place. a good place to feel it out. Say, hey, this is something that we're going to test. If it doesn't work out, okay, we didn't lose too much money because it's only like a couple of miles. I mean, this is not really a whole lot. In fact, let me see. It used to tell you how long the line is. Oh, that's a point. There we go. So 0.5 miles from here to here. Okay, zero point 0.5 from here to Epcot. Zero point 0.6, 0.5. So we're looking at about 1.5 miles from the Caribbean to Epcot. And then let's look at the individual lines here. Zero point 0.7, give or take. 0.58. And then my little extension, 1.82. This is also a nice little track. I mean, it's a little bit of a, oh, there we go. We're here. Now, this really long extension, wow, 3 miles. Let me tell you, the monorail is not cheap by far, but the gondola is not that much cheaper. I mean, it's cheaper, it's cheaper, but it's not, where you can say, let's go ahead and put gondolas everywhere. It's just not going to happen. It would be nice though. And I actually did wonder, why didn't Disney just do something like this where it cut across here, or maybe extend it like this? There we go. And so maybe something like that. I think that'd be kind of cool. Just to connect up with the monorail, um, if anything, because anybody coming from the Magic Kingdom, like, they can catch the bus, of course. Get on the bus and they can get to the Pop Century. But I think it would be really cool. That'd be like the magical ride if you traveled on the monorail, doo, 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 and then you got off at the monorail. Okay, let's see. It can be something like this. There we go. And then you go from the monorail station, get on the gondola. Just kind of set this up a little bit better like this. The reason I said that because you want to have as much of a straight of a path as possible. So maybe this one will look like that. I don't know. So, not doing an environmental impact report, of course, and and uh, I have electrical engineering degree, not a civil engineering degree. So this is definitely looking at it from an outside view, with a big dream and aspirations of what could be. Um, it's too bad that they don't have the Guardians of the Galaxy up yet on this map. I mean, because it would be interesting to see what it looks like. Because I believe the launch tunnel will come straight through here, and this is where the big building's at. And let me see. And they're building uh, that space one, that space restaurant. It's going to be like about here somewhere, I believe. Because it's supposed to be next to Mission Space and next to the test track. And people were wondering, well, wouldn't that be a lot of noise? But when you're on the space track, when you come back around, you do see that huge projection screen, which is right over here somewhere. So it looks like it may, where you, and I think I've heard this before. I think I heard someone saying on one of their YouTube vlogs that you will enter Mission Space, and instead of getting on the ride, of course, you will hop onto a shuttle, which will shoot you through space. And so it's like a little launch pad here. You'll go through the atmosphere, and then you end up in space. Right, right. Well, really and truly, it's going to be like an elevator that's going to simulate you being launched, and then you'll be able to walk upon the space station, have your food, and get the experience. And then you got to take the shuttle back. And then I guess when you exit out of the restaurant, you will have to go through a bunch of shops. Um, you know, they want you to buy stuff, of course. All right, so that will pretty much end it today. Again, I do wish that the Guardians of the Galaxy building was, over here somewhere. I do know that they had to remove or relocate this little, um, I'm going to say river. That's not the proper term for it, I know. But this river, they had to relocate. In fact, I think I remember seeing plans somewhere where they had to push it up a little bit and do it that way. I wonder, what is this? What is that? Huh. No, that's interesting. Because I know Guardians of the Galaxy is not that big. It's big, but it's not this big. So, what is this? I wonder. Now, wouldn't that be a big announcement? Think about it. The 50th anniversary. We are expanding Epcot this way. Yep, all the Marvel Land and all that. And this is the entry to Marvel Land. It's right here. You'll come through here, bypass the Food and Wine Festival Center, and you'll have this humongous park, kind of copying what they're doing in California, with the Marvel Land, and so that'll be awesome. And this could be just a storage area, where they store stuff. It's like, okay, we need to clear out some land to pop stuff, because we don't have a whole lot of room and we want to keep it private. We don't want people to see it. So let's make sure we put trees around so that people can't see it from the street and just dump our trash there. And I don't mean like trash, but like parts, like steel girders and, vehicles that they use for construction and fixing things. This could be just a yard for that. But it would be interesting if we found out, in the next, maybe at D23 or something, that they're going to be expanding parts of Epcot into that area. Let's see. I know someone speculated that the space restaurant was going to be over here somewhere, but it actually ends up where it's going to be right over here. So it's not going to be a huge area. It's just a restaurant. So it's going to take up that little space. The biggest part of the restaurant is that huge projection screen that's going to make you feel like you're actually in space. Another exciting part is the Star Wars land. And every time I come here, and I wonder if Disney has an agreement with Google to keep certain things off their maps, right? Because, if you come to, uh, okay, so at this time, this was still under construction, and this says 2019. Hmm. We know this is already open, it's built already, it's in operation. This is already a happening thing. This is not under construction anymore. But what's going to be exciting is what's happening down south, Star Wars Land. And you can see a lot of the construction happening right now. And if I remember correctly, this is where the Millennium Falcon is going to be at, because it's got that little curved edge and it's kind of parked in here, kind of tucked away, like they're hiding from the rebellion or something. So I think that's going to be exciting. And this humongous show building is going to be that, can't think of the top of my head right now, but it's the Rebels, the Escape Rebels, or something like that. It's a huge. It's going to be like one of the most ambitious, the largest probably dark ride, that Disney has ever done. So I think that's going to be amazing. I can't wait for this to open up. Can't wait till next year. This is supposed to open up in fall of 2019. Toy Story Land is already open. This right here is supposed to turn into some sort of um, Pixar building because these buildings look very much like the Incredibles downtown area. So I think that's a good idea. It's already a Toy Story mania of some sort. So that's been moved over here, and that's what's going on over here. So why not build like a little downtown area of the Incredibles? I think that's going to be grand. That's going to be grand. So there's a lot of new changes, of new things, and so many that I wonder how Disney's able to afford it. Well, of course they got billions upon billions of dollars, but Microsoft and Apple, and they're definitely a lot richer than Disney, and someone makes you wonder how they're able to stay afloat with all the different constructions that they got going on. So yeah, this is exciting, folks. I'm really excited about what the future aspects will hold. You know, what new things are coming. The Ratatouille ride that's coming to the where is the Italy pavilion? The France pavilion. Yeah, there it is. This will probably be the Ratatouille ride, or this could be it right over here. But I mean, look at all this land. Okay, let's look at something else. I mean, I know I'm taking up a lot of time on this video, but look at all this land. This could be a whole nother country. This could be a whole nother country. Maybe we can squeeze in another country here. I mean, already we got two good size areas, very large areas that could potentially be a city or a country. And we got this huge spot here where we can probably put two different countries. Clear this out. Two different countries right there. So that's four. Okay, no room over here. There's no room here. And but they do have some room over here. So we got maybe one or two different countries that we can probably fit in here. One, two. So we got six more countries that could be used. Um, and I can imagine that if they had to, they can take that small little squeezed area here. See this area here? You can't really put a country here, but they can build like an international gateway and take up this spot and put more countries without skipping a beat. Seriously. And especially, okay, so this is the boardwalk. It's like over, or maybe this is the employee parking area. Most likely, it's probably employee parking. Is it gated? No, it's not gated. Well, I can't really see through the trees. It's kind of, I'll have to do a street view. But it'll be nice if they cleared all this out, turned this into you know, some type of parking structure. The gondola. So if they did build a parking structure here, they will have to allow the gondola to go right in between it. And so that they will have to take that into consideration when they build the thing. Maybe have the gondola go through the parking structure. That would be tight. But I think you can probably fit like one, two, three, four, about five, about five different countries. I think it'd be amazing. Um, Wait, what else can you put there? I would say the UAE. I mean, they got some good food there, and maybe a country from Africa would be nice. Australia, that'd be kind of tight. And I said kind of. I think that'd be tight. Australia. Let me see. What's some other great countries in this planet? Um, I would see like even China. Even. Uh, oh, I spoke too soon. That looks like they already got China. Okay, I need to go here. So I understand what's the China Pavilion right there. Yep, there it is. And they got Japan over here, right? No, that's the UK. All right. Well, um, they do have some extra stuff going on here, though. Oh, this is Canada, and then this is the UK, the World Showcase Pavilion. Okay. Well, great, great, great. So, that's all I got. And the gondola system. And looking at my little dream layout here, I think this will be tight. And even so, if you think about it, they can extend it out some more. Excuse me about that. Sorry about that. Extend us out some more. Why not? Take this part, take this. Okay, it's kind of not working the way I want it. And extend this line here. I think they'd be kind of cool. I don't think golfers like to have uh, a gondola flying right over their little area. You know how golfers are. So I'm thinking like you will have to angle it somehow. Maybe have to take away a few golf courses there, but they can kind of do something like this. Again, my computer's running really slow right now. Oh my God, so it's being a pain in the butt. They can do like a multi-stop system like this. Drop you off somewhere in Disney Springs. And there we go. Okay, let's just end it right there. All right, so that's it. So this is the dream line. Looking at the white and purple, that'll be the dream line. And if you look at the mileage on this, oh my goodness, this is going to be 5 miles. And this one right here is going to be 3 miles plus, so about 3.8 miles, give or take, 3.7 miles. Um, so I think it's going to be a fascinating stuff. But I think this first three lines is going to tell whether or not it's successful or not, and to determine if this is something they really want to do. Celebration. Too bad that Disney had to give it up because there's a lot of land down here. Lots of land that Disney owns. It's like, you see this little line? This was put in on purpose to separate Disney from the rest of the world. And all of this is owned by Disney, except for this. Disney gave it up. And thanks to Eisenhower, um, Disney has a lot of room for growth. Don't get that twisted. See this little boundary here? These are actual physical boundaries. And this is all the property that Disney owns. All right. Um, Bigger than the size of Manhattan. Um, there's not one business on this planet that's this big. Okay. It's the largest footprint of a business that's owned by a private company. Well, publicly traded, but all this here, look at all this land. Imagine, by, I don't know, let's say 2100, this will all be filled up for the most part. And then if this is here, how are they going to do that? How, are they going to kick those people out? And you can imagine some HOA fees here. But anyway, I'm out. So you guys, this is Antonio Edward. Please like my YouTube channel. Please subscribe and click on the notification icon for when I publish new videos. And also, please, please, please come to my website. And if you come to my website, just go to antonioedward.me. It's going to be very slow pulling up right now. But you got to go to antonioedward.net. I got other podcasts here that I'm building up, that I'm trying to get going. All my music's on here. I make my own music. Lists to all my movies are here too. And if you scroll down to the bottom here, all the way to the little bit of the bottom, you can subscribe by way of email and get emails of any updates. All right, hit that subscribe button, like us, and peace, blessings, and good heart.